Hey brick fans, and welcome to the Brick Bakery, where all our jokes are half baked and most of our bricks are medium rare. Today we're having a look at the 1988 Lego catalog. This particular Lego catalog is a catalog I found in a used Lego haul some time ago, so it doesn't hold the same nostalgic value to me as the other catalogs we've been looking at earlier, but it's still interesting to have a look into some Lego history. Here's the 1988 Lego catalog, and I just put up two catalogs front and back so you can see both front and back simultaneously, because it's got some interesting interaction between the front page and the back page. We can see the same display from the front and from the back. I actually think that's quite clever. Without further ado, let's have a look inside. These are very, very similar to the things we saw in 1991 catalog. These small men, I remember those. Those were interesting. The Duplo circus here, that's interesting. I remember seeing that as a child. The others are just much more generic brick boxes with bricks. This is a classic. I remember this one very vividly. It's interesting to see a Duplo plane and all the different kinds of tracks, you know. Here's a bridge. A bridge, we don't see that too often, do we? Ooh, I had this one actually. This one, the kitchen. Yeah, I really had a lot of these actually. There's two sizes, a small one and a big one. 1577 is the small one and 1613 is the big one. Fabuland. I don't remember ever having seen Fabuland in a catalog before. And I remember there was movies with Fabuland. This one is interesting. It's a storage bag for Lego with a diameter of 100 centimeters. That's interesting. They're actually selling bags made from some kind of fabric for storing Lego. I think that's interesting, and I haven't seen that ever. Oh, more Fabuland. This one, I had this one. There is a part of the Danish Legoland that's very much inspired by this Fabuland line of Lego, but today it's just called Duplo Land. Ooh, Castle Lego. Some of the real classic Castle Lego. This one, I really like this special piece here. Oh, this is not classic space as such, but we are very close. These men are very cool. I like the sort of diagonal. I think it's interesting to see these, as we know that the later Space Lego would be M-Tron and Blacktron and Space Police and all that, and see how that, you see some of the ideas which will develop into the Space series that we know from the 90s. You know, these are actually very reminiscent of the M-Tron and Blacktron and all that. This one and this one, these are actually still much more like the classic space sets. It's interesting, actually. It's interesting that they are doing the non-visor helmets whilst doing the visor helmets as well. And here we go with City. I really like this parking garage situation, because I believe, yeah, it's got this elevator for the cars. That is really, really cool. I would love to see the 6394 in person. And this car as well, I have this one. We'll be building that one as well. And I actually still have the blue motorcycle, which is pretty cool. This one might actually have been in that big haul, my haul video number 5. I'm pretty sure that this airport, the 6392 airport, was in that set. Or sorry, in that haul. This is nice, the 6699. That is cool. That container ship is nice. The 4013 container ship, that is nice. I really would like more like that presently. this is the 12 volt train. That means the tracks are not carrying any current, so the motor is run from inside the train based on batteries. DB, is that Deutsche Bahn? Is that Deutsche Bahn? I think it's Deutsche Bahn. Oh, this is a nice train station. I really like that. And here we see some of the Technic Lego of the period. These are much more simplistic than what we get today. In my video Lego haul number 5, I actually think I found a lot of pieces that belongs to some of this stuff in here. I think this one would be in that haul, and this one would definitely be, or at least parts of it would be in there, because I remember finding these 2 wings, and this is actually the only set ever that these 2 wings was in. And this one I saw recently actually at a local thrift store. That was the 1988 Lego catalog, and even though this wasn't the catalog I've had since my childhood, it's still interesting to see some Lego history. But that's all for me today. I hope you'll comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you guys next Monday.